his last performance here. He came to our country. He beat Tommy Langford. He's done a very good job in beating Tommy. So the fans know who he is. We know he comes to fight. We know he's aggressive. And obviously everybody over here knows Billy Joe from some of his great performances, including his win over Chris Eubanks Jr. Bill is the WBO champion. Bill is mad at the moment. He's been sitting around for nearly a year now, waiting for these big fights, with contracts that have been sent to us, that we've signed, waiting for the other side. And it's well documented about that with Eubanks, and certainly recently with Golovkin, which was a great shame that his fight against Daniels was, turned out to be such a tough fight for him. Otherwise, Bill would have been in there fighting in July. But we can't have Bill sitting on his backside. Bill needs to fight. Bill needs to be out there. He needs to be defending his title. This is an ordered defence by the WBO, and he wants to get it on and get it out of the way. I'm sure he'll tell you yourself again in a month. And he's got to make a statement, and this will be a statement. We've seen, as I say, the last fight with Kurtsidis, and it was a very, very entertaining fight. He's an entertaining fighter, there's no doubt about that. He's a tough guy, he knows every word I'm saying here. He's a tough guy, and we know he comes to fight. He ain't going to be, Bill ain't going to have to go looking for him. He's going to be there, he's going to be there in front of him. But Bill is not Tommy Langford. No. Billy Joe Saunders, in my opinion, is one of the best middleweights out there in the world. And he's not been tested yet. He's not had to go to the well yet. He's not had to do any of these things. He's got so much in the tank. He's a young man. He's a smart boxer. He's got a good boxing brain. He can punch. He can box. He can do it any way you want. And he's a southpaw. And I think the truth is he's probably the most avoided fighter in that division. But this man here wants to fight. He's chuckling away to himself here. He's going to say, I'm going to prove that Warren wrong. But we will see it tonight. So we're looking forward to the 8th, and I'm looking forward, more importantly, to see Bill back in the ring and showing the British public and the world what he's good at doing and what he can do.
Well, let's start with Billy Joe. You've been working over in Spain. You've clearly shed a bit of tonnage. You're looking well.
Yep.
Ready to start training for this in earnest. What's your thoughts actually on this guy and on the fight that you have ahead?
Well, listen, obviously if you take the little muscles away, everything else is probably a featherweight. I suppose he's had a bit of help to put them muscles on. Now I know these Americans trainers, and he's a very sophisticated over there. They like the old juice. So I think that he's going to be chasing shadows all night, and he's going to be playing eat the jab. And after 3 or 4 rounds when he's gassing out, then I'm going to step on him and just do what I've got to do. He's 37-year-old. If I can't beat him, I just want to give up and think about not fighting Golovkin and your Canelos. He's 3 years off from 40, so and he's not the best of boxers. I have a 7-year-old son who's got better boxing tools than what he's got, and that's on a serious note.
But when you saw him against Tommy, I know Frank says, of course,
I think the occasion got to Tommy. Tommy was looking at the bigger picture. I think Tommy was looking at the bigger picture more than winning on the night, and I think he froze a little bit when it got put in front of him. But I think Tommy was up by 4 rounds. I think even the judges had it up. And Tommy's, he's experienced at British level, but when you take that next step, even to European level, it's different. And you've got to go through that to know it, and I'm sure Tommy will come back a better fighter. But I bet if there's a rematch, Tommy will beat him in a rematch.
Well, let's hear from more from you in a minute, Bill, but Avtandil, you've got arguably the hardest fight of your life coming up, haven't you? What's your thoughts on this one?
So there's going to be the fight which is necessary for my future career. So it's just one of the fights I've had in my life.
I'll translate that. He's going to get beat and get paid. That's the translation there, because like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from him by being rude to him, but he's not a middleweight, to be honest with you. Yes, I'm very big. I come down from light heavy cruiser to middle. He's coming up from without the muscles, about 7 stone to 11 and a half.
I need it on 8th of July and just take care. So we'll see on the 8th.
He says that he's going to box his head off though. What does he do? What's he got to say about that?
What's he going to do, asked him, when he's 7 rounds down, blowing out his arse and can't hold his hand up to his face?
Why don't you let him say what he's going to say?
Why don't you sit down?
Let him say what he's going to
You're only
say.
here for money. You're only here for money.
No, he's not here. He's here to come and whoop your ass. That's why he's here.
I've seen you in his
You
corner
want to talk
once,
about
yeah?
somebody not
I've
being
seen you in his corner once. Yeah, that's what I've seen you in his
Then you're not looking enough. You're not looking enough. No, let him talk. Let him
He
talk.
can't even talk a word of English.
He has an interpreter. Let him talk. Don't be rude.
Don't you be
I mean,
rude.
I know you are rude, but don't be rude.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Sorry. You're not.
Thank you.
All right. I'm not really sorry.
So he's
It
happy
don't
to
matter.
congratulate
It don't
you.
matter.
Really,
I could explain he's not here for the money,
Listen,
though. What he is here for is your belt.
Yeah, listen, he's 37-year-old. He's 37 years of age. Up against a 27-year-old.
How's that going to make you feel when he whoops your ass then?
Well, I'll tell you what, would you want to put what you're earning on what I'm earning on it?
Sure, I don't have a problem with that. I have 5 other middleweights that keep me earning.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. You talk about somebody not being ready for something, his sparring partners are better than you are.
Yeah, but
His sparring partners.
so why any sparring partners over here fighting me?
You don't want to fight him. You didn't want to fight Danny, you don't want to fight...
Danny. You're going about Danny.
Yeah, oh, Danny. Yes.
I would pick
And
Danny.
this man, this was the man that got
I would pick
Danny ready
Danny.
for Golovkin. He's going to whoop your ass.
Well, I'll tell you
on
what,
the
what I'm
line.
saying, he's going to get me ready for Golovkin games. I'm the punch.
No, he's going to get you done. That's what he's going to get
Let
you.
me
You're
tell you
going
one
to be
thing.
done.
Let me tell you one
You're
thing.
gonna be
I'll tell you
done.
who's going to get done is him.
You're gonna
I'll tell
be
you what
done.
I'm going to make you do. I'm going to make you throw
You're not
the towel.
making me do
I'm
anything.
going to punish him.
You're not going to
I'm
make
gonna
me do
punish him,
anything.
and I'm
You're
going
not
to
going
make
to
you
punish.
throw.
You're not going to punish him because he's going to be ready for you. You talk about eating jabs. He's going to eat your jabs
You
and
have to
feed
throw
you a
that
hook for
towel.
dinner.
You've got to wave that white flag over to the ref and say,
No, we don't do that in Brooklyn.
If
We
I
don't do
wobble
that in
him,
Brooklyn.
if I wobble him, I'm going to step off
We
him.
don't do that in
But
Brooklyn.
you get your
We
man
don't
up
do that
bad.
in
You
Brooklyn.
don't look at your fighters then. You don't look at your fighters.
Give me one picture, man. Give me.
Everybody's sure I'm working okay.
Could you repeat that again? It's good.
Tell us some more.
You're a strong fighter, man. Good.
You just say he's a strong fighter.
Yeah.
Are you going to knock him out?
Oh, maybe.
Listen, Curtis, you are a good penis, yes? You are a good penis. See? I told you. That's good penis.
Now listen, because he doesn't understand what you're saying, no disrespect him, all right?
You understand?
Because you're a real asshole. How about that?
We'll see who's the answer on the night, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to see on the 8th.
We'll see.
I guarantee you that. We're going to see on the 8th.
Make sure you got that tail in your
We're
bag.
going to see.
Ref.
No, we don't wave
That
flags.
tail. Wave that tail.
We don't wave
Well,
flags.
you're going to get him hurt. You get him hurt badly.
No, you're going to be
You will
hurt.
wave that flag. I'll make
Listen,
sure that you wave that flag.
make sure you get it together. All right? Get that little fat, tubby body of yours ready. When he pounds
Don't
you
worry.
out,
Don't
get
worry.
ready
It's
for
ready.
it.
It's ready now. It's ready
No,
now.
it's far from
ready
ready
now.
now.
It's ready now.
It's-
And after I do
Where's
that,
your pink shirt?
and after I
Where's
do
your pink
that,
shirt?
if you want to bring Danny Jacobs over here to England, I'll do the same to him. Because that's your
You-
golden egg, Danny
What
Jacobs.
you already?
I
You're
would beat
losing your
Golovkin.
title on
I would
July
beat-
8th.
I would beat
You're
Golovkin
losing your
and
title
Golovkin
on
beat Danny
July
Jacobs.
8th.
All right.
Appendale Castides, nickname. Suicide, nickname. Brooklyn Best,
It is
nickname.
suicide. It's
The
going to be
black
suicide. Get the
man
ring with
is
me.
going to
It's
tear
gonna be
your ass
suicide.
up.
It's going to be suicide.
Can I just draw a halt for a moment? I think you probably get the gist of what's going on. Can I ask for 1 or 2 questions from the floor? If you want to just sort of narrow it down a little bit, perhaps you'd like to hear about what Billy's actually been doing in Spain, because I would, because you've been working out with Big Tyson, haven't you?
Been out there, that's all I've been doing is eating, partying, not doing no training, get ready for this man to come over and take me to
I
him.
believe you.
Thank you very much. That's good. That's what I want you to do.
Let me party with
That's
you
what I
in
want you to be. You're too old to
I
party.
speak a little
You're
Spanish.
too old to party.
I speak a
You're
little
too
Spanish.
old.
Don't worry, I'll talk to everyone that's necessary.
All right.
I'll interpret for you.
Go on then. Away you go. Now listen, I've been out in Spain, training very hard, getting ready for this fight. I know that he's not going to come and obviously give up. I know it's a deep down. I know that he's an hard fight to anybody. So, you know, you say a lot of talk just to get into people's heads, but I know he's a very strong fighter, a good puncher. But he hasn't even got a jab. I'm supposed to be. I'm WBO middleweight champion of the world. If I can't beat someone who hasn't got a jab, then I don't belong in boxing. Simple as that.
He's been avoided though, hasn't he?
He has been strongly avoided. He has. But to be honest with you, I should have boxed him. I wish I had boxed him on the Tommy Langford deal when Tommy Langford was, because it would have been over by now and on the next step. But, you know, things happen for a reason. He's a good puncher. He's got a good record. And we're not just bringing someone over here that... I know he can't speak a word of English anyway, and I can't even say his name, but he can generally fight. I'll give him to you, Duke. Yeah, he can fight, but he's no Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson retired 18 years ago. So he is what he is. He's a strong little ball, come forward, full of muscles, and that's about it.
Billy, in your last fight, you didn't particularly impress, and it seemed because you weren't particularly motivated. It sounds like you're not overly motivated here, so why would we expect a better performance?
Well, listen, in ways that... Last time I boxed, it was completely down to my own lack of work, my own way of letting myself go here without the ring, without moving, doing anything. But it's been a lot different. I think this time that I know that I've got to be on my game, and that's what I do. When I have to turn it on, I will turn it on. Whatever I need to do to win, I will do to win. And whether it look good, bad, ugly, I'm unbeaten, a world champion. No one can argue with that. So until someone beats me and takes it off me, then that's it.
We were semi-expecting you to be fighting Golovkin this summer, so has that been difficult for you to get over, and your plans are...
Well, no, not really. Listen, you've got to take one fight. I'm not overlooking him thinking that I've just got to jump in the ring, turn up, and that's it, because I know that's not the case. But my goal is Golovkin or Canelo by the end of the year. That's all I want. I want one of the big fights. And to test myself to my max, to my absolute max, I want one of the best. And to be fair, he's a good fighter, but he's not one of the best.
Have you been told that fight will happen if you win this one?
I don't need to get told that they're fighting now, they're making a history fight. And the only title they haven't got is the WBO, so I'm sure that they would want to make that fight, because if I was in their position, I would love to make that fight.
Who do you think wins that one? As much of interest, Bill?
I think that's going to be a close fight. I thought Golovkin comfortable at first, but Canelo's got a few tricks. It all depends if Golovkin's got a bit old, doesn't it? You know, because his last fight, let's face it, he wasn't the best Golovkin that we've seen 2 or 3 years down a bit. But also, my opinion is that had something to do with having. My opinion on this is he had 5 drug testers, and that's my opinion on stuff like that happens in America. So I don't think he boxed to his best ability because it was a fair playing field.
Bill, are you going to be staying out in Marbella or coming back here? Are you still working with Adam?
Yep, still working with Adam. I'll be staying back here in Surrey and getting ready for the next 8 weeks for Danny.
What's it been like training with Tyson Fury?
Yeah, very good. He seems to have got his head back on the game again. He's motivated. You know, he was up every morning. He was running 7s, training, everything. He was putting in just as much work as me, and I'm really happy to see him back on track. And 100% you're going to see him back this year. 1,000,000%. He's really looking. He's lost a load of weight already. I think he lost 22 pounds altogether. And I think as soon as he gets his business sorted over here, what he needs to do, he's back out again.